OK Sports for our latest presentation of NBA basketball. Alongside Hall of Famer Grant Hill and Coach Stan Van Gundy, this is Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce joins us from the sidelines. Here are the starters for Utah. George and Sexton in the backcourt. Lauri Markkanen out there with Williams. And it's Kessler in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the Spurs. Up front, they're going with Johnson and Wemby. Then there's Chris Paul. Then it's Harrison Barnes. And it's Champagnie at the 2. Year after year, this early portion of the season is characterized by a great deal of overreaction, Grant.
The media and fans build up a lot of expectations in the offseason. And it's not that bad, but when those expectations aren't met, watch out. Listen, we all just need to settle down and see how things play out. The season is still very young.
Now here's Markkanen. A really disappointing game for him in that loss to Milwaukee. That shot wide open.
Well, Markkanen's one of the more efficient, high-volume three-point shooters in the league.
Here's Paul. Outside Johnson. To the wing on the left. Here's Wembanyama. Lays it up and banks it in.
Well, he can beat you in a lot of ways. Very challenging to defend.
Paul against George. Here's Sexton. It's good. Set up beautifully by George.
And someone like Sexton, well, all scorers really, they have to get points around the hoop.
Maybe the results haven't been there in recent seasons, but the Jazz have an exciting young core, Coach.
Yeah, they do, B.A. They've focused on youth, and some of those guys are developing into very good players. If this core stays in place and gels, and they can add to it a little bit, watch out for this Jazz team.
Now here's Markkanen. 5 to shoot. The shot. And it's Utah scoring again.
A gifted scorer. You know, this team trusts Markkanen's shot selection and offensive initiative.
Wembanyama, screen on George. From 11 feet away, and the jumper is good.
He really hooked the defender with that pump fake. It worked to perfection.
Outside Sexton. Outside Williams. Markkanen outside. Pass to Sexton. Kessler a screen. Fires the 3. It's hauled in by Wembanyama. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Paul, shot is off. The Jazz have gone 3 of 4. Off to a nice start. George drives in. Oh, it's blocked by Barnes. Markkanen outside. Sexton passes to Kessler. Another shot. And it's good on the lay-in.
Well, gobbling up boards is what Kessler does best. Got some points out of that one, too.
And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. And San Antonio making a change here. Vassell's checked in. And Utah with a change here, too. John Collins checked in for Williams. Now here's Paul. On the wing, Vassell. Collins defending. And there's the basket, and the whistle blows. Chance at a three-point play here. Going to the line for 1. Grant, compared to some of the flashier scorers, Devin Vassell has a more workmanlike approach.
Yeah, he can quietly drop a big game on you. He doesn't draw attention with stylish plays and big circus shots. He just grinds it out by finding his looks.
And that one falls for Vassell. Coach, as you know, two-way wings like Devin Vassell are a hot commodity in the NBA these days.
Yeah, Brian, he's got good defensive instincts. He's got great length. And offensively, a pretty good three-point shooter. But his main weapon is that mid-range jump shot.
Just a gutsy play by George inside, finding the close-range look.
And so Paul will bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. 4-point game, coming off a win against the Blazers.
And I think they were prepared to face pressure D, but that never materialized, so they took advantage.
And you could sense the difference in energy. They were keyed up, jumping on mistakes. They just outworked them.
Now here's George. He's coming off a 10-point game against Milwaukee. Back to Sexton. Lets it go from deep. The rebound by the Spurs. Last time they met was in Salt Lake City where they beat the Jazz.
And in the last meeting, they were the better defensive team. They were the disruptors, causing turnovers all over the place.
Yeah, guys, I watched the film of that one, and they had great activity defensively. They need that again tonight.
And they've settled in quickly today. A nice flowing rhythm to their offense.
And that one's good. Paul's gotten his second bucket of the game.
He doesn't back down from anybody. Paul has to be one of the most tenacious competitors in the league. Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
Well, that's too easy. As he says, let me add to my highlight reel.
Paul can't get it to go.
Hey, sometimes the best looks don't equate to points.
And he lobs it up. Stolen by Wembanyama. 5-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Johnson. Doesn't go for him. Good D by Kessler. Utah leading by 6. George outside. Markkanen right side. The fadeaway. Second shot opportunity. It's good! It's good at the buzzer! Wow!
And credit him for understanding the situation and coming through.
Yeah, really a perfect way to finish that quarter on a strong, positive note.
And so it's the Utah Jazz, finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead, getting lots. And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And take a look at the Jazz performance here, guys. What do you think?
Well, a big differentiator was their ability to generate offense by pounding the glass.
Yeah, look, and whether it's a point-blank putback or a kick-out for an open three, offensive rebounds usually generate quality shots.
On the floor for Utah, getting going in the second. We've got Drew Eubanks. Williams is out there with John Collins. Then it's Jordan Clarkson, and it's Preston in at the point guard position. Clarkson outside. The three is up. Offensive rebound. Second chance shot. The bank shot, no good. Spurs trail by 6. Vassell outside. Pass to Branham. Vassell outside. Utah grabs the miss. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. John Collins is fitting nicely on the Jazz, and Coach Will Hardy said he's given us a huge lift on the offensive end. He's a tough cover, the way he's able to mix up popping and rolling. The defense can't prepare for just one thing. It makes him a dynamic threat.
Able to score on multiple levels, Allie. Thank you. They grab their own miss. Outside, Williams. Pass to Eubanks. Ooh, excellent D there from Barnes.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
Here's Castle. Vassell left side. Can't get it to go. 2 for 4 thus far. Utah leading by 6. And for an up-and-coming San Antonio Spurs team, Grant, what's the key for them in your mind?
I'd have to say, B.A., that it's patience. You know, young guys need time to develop their game and learn from experience. You can't expect people to become stars overnight.
Well, strong play by Vassell inside. Getting him a look this close is almost a sure bucket.
Clarkson outside. Collins with a screen on Vassell.
Hey, when in doubt, run the defender off the screen.
And you know, with a result like that, we'll see them run it again.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
Vassell against Williams. Branham passes to Vassell. Spurs need to get one up here. around the rim that time before dropping. Vassell's got 6 here in the quarter.
Well, what a quarter he's had. You can tell he's in the flow. They should be looking for him every possession.
And a new group getting ready for Utah. Kessler, he's checked in for Eubanks. Markkanen comes in for John Collins. Colin Sexton's checked in for Clarkson. And it's George in for Preston. Sexton looking around. Markkanen from long range. That's what he does. Lauri Markkanen.
Just a great setup for Markkanen. All he needed to do was shoot in rhythm.
There's the screen by Johnson. Here's Paul. It's rebounded by George.
And they just continue to dominate the boards.
And it's Utah scoring again.
And he's a crafty scorer for a young player. George is always going to find the gaps in the defense.
Wemby putting on a show.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Wow, an emphatic two-handed slam. Here's George. We've got 1:13 left in the half. The 16th pick in last year's draft, Keontae George was thrown right into the fire his rookie season, Stan.
Yeah, down the stretch, he was basically handed the keys to the offense at the point guard position. He may take some lumps, but his talent level is evident. Inexcusable defense. You can't let Kessler get established inside like this.
Paul passes to Wembanyama. Oh, Wembanyama throws it down.
He throws it down with 2 hands. You know he won't mess that up.
Not this guy. He is a big-time finisher. Paul against George. Pass to Markkanen. Now here's Kessler, covered by Wembanyama. George against Paul. Takes one from 10 feet. It's wide right, hits off the rim.
I think he got the shot he wanted inside, but somewhere on the play, he just lost focus.
Wembanyama, screen on George. Paul finds Wembanyama. Oh, Kessler with the block. And that's out of bounds. It was last touched by Kessler. There's 6 seconds left in the first half. Wembanyama's shot is good.
Yeah, the more he knocks those down, the more confidence this coaching staff's going to have in him.
And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Jazz out in front, up by 5. And we'll see you back here after the break. Third quarter action in just a bit.
And thank you for joining us as with 2 quarters in the books, it's looking good for the Utah Jazz.
Their effort on the offensive glass has set a strong message. They're not going to be pushed around, and they're going to battle and outwork you.
Like I outwork you every day, Kenny. I'm just saying.
I outwork both of you, and it ain't even close. Now let's take a moment here for a look at the upcoming schedule.
Looking at San Antonio, a tall order for them in this one. Looking to steal a win from a very good team. On paper, it's a tough hill climb.
Yeah, but that's why we play games. Anything can happen.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to head back over to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. You look at Devin Vassell, he's been playing really well.
Can they come up with an answer for him coming out of the half? They have to change something defensively.
Yeah, I'd love to see what they drew up in the locker room, because you're right. He's the problem right now.
Up front, they're going with Johnson and Wemby. Then it's Harrison Barnes. Then there's Chris Paul. And it's Champagnie at the 2-guard spot. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. 5 on the clock. Back to Wembanyama. Kessler with a rebound. Kessler's got his 5th rebound in this one. Stan, another head coach from the Greg Popovich tree. Will Hardy, who started his career in San Antonio.
And there have been a lot of successful guys that have come through the Spurs organization. Will Hardy is just another one who is developing into an outstanding NBA coach.
Wembanyama, screen on George. Paul drives in, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Paul's got 6 points.
And teaching a clinic on how to run pick and roll. Paul gets a little space and then takes it himself.
Markkanen with a screen on Paul. The 3, George. Rebound by San Antonio. 6 points for him. Paul passes to Barnes. Here's Champagnie. Outside Paul. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here. And the free throw, no good. Grant, when you talk about consistency and officiating game to game, you think there's room for improvement?
You know, I do think so. I mean, they're allowing more contact, but overall, more clarity on what constitutes legal guarding position would help players and officials.
Williams in the post, working on Barnes. Markkanen with a screen on Barnes. The Jazz need to get one up in a hurry. Pulls up on the wing, and he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. And we're joined now by Shams Charania. He's calling in with a story. Good to have you, Shams. What's going on?
Well, guys, Lauri Markkanen had said all along he was content to stay in Utah. And after signing a contract extension, he remains with the Jazz. He turns 28 in May, so he's just entering his prime. There's plenty of runway left if the Jazz think he can guide them back to the playoff mix. And with the timing of when Markkanen signed his extension, he is not trade eligible during this season.
Appreciate the update. Thanks, Shams.
Yeah, Wembanyama fights for his bucket, using his size to get it done despite the foul.
Coach, when you watch Wemby, it's not the height that jumps out. It's the way he moves with that height.
Brian, I've been around the NBA a long time, and you think you've seen it all. But when you see someone with Wembanyama's size and the things he can do, his ball handling, his shooting range, the way he moves, blocking shots, this guy is one of a kind.
Feels like he's emerging as the face of the NBA soon.
I think that's what we all expect.
Sexton. And Chris Paul clears it away. For San Antonio, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 shots to go since the break. Wembanyama, screen on Sexton. And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Stan, one of the most impressive streaks in sports history, the San Antonio Spurs, one of the smallest markets in the NBA, making 22 consecutive playoffs.
Yeah, and Brian, there's nothing that I respect more than consistent success year after year. I think it's harder than having that one great year. What San Antonio did in those years is incredible.
And they had a great sideline reporter out here, too.
Good-looking guy.
3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Barnes finds Paul. And that basket makes him 5 for 10. Steady production so far.
Yeah, and despite his relative lack of size, CP very crafty finishing inside.
On the wing, Clarkson, covered by Johnson. Outside, Williams. Driving to the basket, and Williams punches it home.
His hang time on the rim puts a sweet cherry on top, BA.
It's a close game, and those displays of explosiveness can jumpstart a team. Paul. Vassell passes to Paul. Barnes with a screen on Sexton. The drive by Paul. Kessler with a rebound. Kessler's got his 6th rebound on the night. Nifty move. Sexton up top. From the arc. The dive for the ball. Rebound by San Antonio.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Knocked loose, and it's out of bounds. Still Utah's ball. Branham's checked in for San Antonio. And Utah with a change here, too. Sensabaugh is checked in for Williams. .36 seconds left in the third quarter here. Vassell against Clarkson. For the tie. And he takes it up and lays it in. Clarkson's got his 2nd basket on the night.
Well, looking for that point-blank opportunity. Clarkson wanted the highest percentage shot possible.
Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. That one on Kessler. And this is his 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight. That free throw no good.
Well, a strong off guard. Vassell gives you a little of everything offensively. A key player for this team. Well, a miss is unfortunate, but he still manages to put them ahead. Barely.
Now here's Clarkson for the lead. Counted. Clarkson's got his 3rd basket of the night. Vassell with it. He gets it up. He knocks it down. Wait a minute. The officials getting together here. They may want to review this one. Well, we thought the previous play is under review. To review the play. They're trying to see if he released the ball before the buzzer or not.
While this call may not decide the game, you always prefer to get it right.
The ruling on the floor is confirmed.
And the ruling is in. The call stands. No bucket. So no change in the score as we end the quarter.
Good move to review that shot. That was really close to counting.
And we've just finished the third quarter. What a tight game we've got going. It's the Jazz leading by 1. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. Greg Popovich addressing his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
But don't stop the aggressiveness. You got shots, let them fly.
You know, that's the thing about Greg Popovich. As long as you're taking good shots, he doesn't want you to hesitate.
Well, the offense is designed to create opportunities. So if you pass up the opportunity, you're defeating the whole purpose of the exercise.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we'll start the fourth in what is still anybody's ball game. So the Jazz 5 right now. They've got Collier, Drew Eubanks out there with John Collins. Then it's Jordan Clarkson, and it's Sensabaugh in at the 3. Sissoko, he's checked in for Mamukelashvili. So we can't get either to fall. Grant, a big reason for Utah to be excited about the future. Their young head coach, Will Hardy.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, he's had this team competitive after trading away both Mitchell and Gobert. And I love how Hardy has developed guys like Lauri Markkanen. You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
What a slam by the 6'3" Clarkson, showing he's still got some ups.
Vassell against Clarkson. Vassell passes to Branham. And he lays it up and in.
0 rim protection. Unforgivable in a tight ball game like this.
Yeah, there's no excuse for giving that up. That's the absolute last thing you want to happen.
Clarkson outside. Sinks that one. Now shooting 5 of 10 and looking sharp.
You know, they're really being bullied right now defensively. 8 of the last 10 points have come from inside.
Well, so often Vassell will rise and fire, but that time he puts it on the floor and makes something happen.
Utah leading. Clarkson outside. Tipped away. And here's the fast break. Here's Castle. Finished off the break.
An aggressive move to a strong finish.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points before that defense is fully set.
And we've got a timeout called by Will Hardy. He's looking to make some very important adjustments here. So San Antonio ends up going with a new group. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
I was able to listen in on what Will Hardy was going over with his team. They were encouraging their team to run, look for breaks. Coach wants to see them getting into transition more. Back to you, Brian.
As always, Allie, we thank you. Pass to Wembanyama. The kick out to Paul. Wembanyama, screen on George. Paul, back to Wembanyama. Outside Sexton. Rebounded by Champagnie. San Antonio leading. They've been taking care of business.
Especially at the offensive end, where they've been totally in sync.
Here's Wembanyama. And the dunk by Wembanyama.
No fear in this young man. We're already getting a sense of Wembanyama's killer instinct.
George against Paul. Outside, Williams. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist.
Talk about stepping up. I mean, that is a huge three-pointer.
Well, guys who can make big shots at the end of games have become a necessity.
And that one's good. And the Spurs lead by 2.
You gotta love seeing Wembanyama get assertive in an important moment.
George against Paul. George passes to Williams. To the paint. 6 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Another 3 for Utah.
Well, they needed someone to step up there, and it's Markkanen who answers the call.
Wembanyama, screen on George. Tries it from the block. Ball finds Wembanyama. And there's another one for the Spurs. Neither team able to take a hold of this game.
Yeah, it's been a tight one. Numerous lead changes, very competitive.
It's Markkanen on the wing. 1:14 left in the fourth. Offensive rebound. Now George. Here's the 3. It's hauled in by Wembanyama.
Oh, his shot selection's been poor. If I were coaching this team, he'd be sitting next to me.
Inside. Over to the left wing. Paul passes to Wembanyama. Utah grabs the miss. And now the Jazz on the run in transition. Here's Sexton. Misses from short range. Now 5 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Wembanyama, screen on George. And he lobs it up to the... Oh! Wembanyama crashing down.
Already in year one, Wembanyama hitting shots in crucial parts of the game.
And we've got a timeout called by Will Hardy. And a great call on his part. This is the time you want to be in sync right here. From a coaching perspective, what are the keys to focus on here?
Tricky situation here. They need some kind of bucket to stay alive.
Yeah, the clock is their enemy and they know it. We'll see if they go for the tie or try and get a quick one.
There's 18 seconds left in the final quarter. Here's George. The kick out to Williams. The 3-ball. Off target from downtown. And they foul intentionally. Now they're going to have to do that again. They're not in the penalty just yet.
Getting a little desperate at this stage. I mean, the clock's the big factor.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
First personal foul. Second team foul. Chris Paul.
He drops the first one, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. And so he drops them both, and it's a 5-point game.
Great composure there. Calmly knocks them down to put this game out of reach.
Utah calls timeout. 5 ticks left in the fourth quarter here. Let's hear from our analyst. Give us your take on the strategy being discussed right now.
And time's running short. They just couldn't get over that hump.
Well, I've been in this spot more times than I'd like to admit. All you can do is tell your guys to hold their heads up and finish strong.
Marketing for 3. The shot comes out. And so it's San Antonio with the W. I'm sure they would have preferred a blowout victory, but a win's a win.
And so true, but you have to credit the crowd for giving them such a big boost toward the end. It really kept this team's energy high.
All right, Allie's ready to go. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
HB, you have playoff experience. What's your advice to these teammates to get to that level?
We have the talent, we have the coaching. It's just a matter of every day approaching that with that mindset that we're going to go take it. I think if we come out with the energy and focus that we've shown that we can do, we'll put ourselves in a great position to have fun in the postseason.
The mental is just as important as the physical. Thanks so much, HB.
Thanks, Allie. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Stan Van Gundy, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast. And now, time for our player of the game, Victor Wembanyama.
Make your hell gaming.